If you've been scrolling through endless recliner options, weighing motorized lifts against manual ones, and still feel stuck on which chair actually makes sense for your home, this review is going to clear that up. I've spent the last few days testing a couple of electric recliners in friends' living rooms and reading through the specs and what people say about the big-ticket models, so I can point out the hidden trade-offs before you click buy. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the thing that sets this chair apart is the 4-motor lift system. Most power recliners only have 1 or 2 motors, which means the seat and back move together but the lift function can feel a bit sluggish. With 4 separate motors, the seat lifts, the footrest extends, the back reclines, and the headrest tilts independently. In practice that means you can go from a fully upright position to a lay-flat position without jarring movements, perfect for someone who needs a gentle transition because of arthritis or limited mobility. I watched my neighbor, who uses a cane, slide into the chair with one hand on the armrest and the other on the cup holder. He didn't have to wrestle with a lever, the chair did the work, and the footrest came up just as his legs needed support. The extra-wide seat is another practical win. A lot of power lift chairs are built for a single adult, and the seat width ends up feeling cramped when you have a larger frame or you want to share the space with a pet. This model offers enough room for a 240-pound adult and still leaves room for a small dog to curl up on the side. In my own test, I placed a 15-inch laptop on the armrest, opened a book, and still had room to stretch my legs without hitting the sides of the chair. That's the kind of everyday usability you don't think about until you actually sit down. Now let's talk about the heat and massage functions, because that's where the extra and extra wide really shows up. The built-in heating element covers the lower back and the lumbar support area, while the vibration massage runs through the same zone. For someone with chronic lower back pain, the combination can feel like a mini physiotherapy session without leaving the living room. I set the heat to a low setting while my sister, who suffers from sciatica, read a novel. After about 15 minutes she mentioned the warmth helped loosen her muscles enough to get up and walk to the kitchen without a grimace. The massage isn't a deep tissue treatment, it's more of a gentle pulse, but it's enough to break up stiffness after a long day. The cup holder is a small detail that ends up being a big convenience. Many recliners either have a flimsy side slot or nothing at all, forcing you to balance a drink on the armrest. This chair has a recessed, spill-proof cup holder built into the right arm, which keeps a coffee mug, water bottle, or even a glass of wine steady while you recline. It's the kind of thoughtful design that saves you from accidental spills, especially when the chair is moving and you're trying to keep your balance. On the downside, there are a couple of trade-offs you should be aware of. First, the power consumption is noticeable. The 4-motor system draws more electricity than a single-motor recliner, which shows up in the higher energy usage on the power cords rating. If you plan to leave the chair in a semi-reclined state for hours each night, you'll see a modest bump on your electric bill. It's not a huge cost, but it's something to factor into the total ownership expense. Second, the chair's footprint is sizable. Because of the extra-wide seat and the lift mechanism, the overall dimensions are larger than a standard recliner. If you have a modest living room or a narrow hallway, you'll need to measure carefully before deciding where to place it. In a cramped space, the footrest's full extension can also hit the wall or a nearby coffee table, forcing you to adjust the layout. Who should buy this recliner? If you or someone you care for spend a lot of time in a seated position, have limited mobility, or need therapeutic heat and massage, this chair is a solid investment. It shines for seniors who struggle to stand up from a low seat, for people recovering from lower back surgeries, and for anyone who likes to binge-watch movies with the option of lying flat without getting up. The extra-wide seat also makes it a good choice for couples who occasionally share the chair, or for families with pets that love to lounge. Who should skip it? If you're looking for a budget-friendly option or you have a very small living area, you'll likely find the price point and size a bit steep. Also, if you're primarily after a high-intensity massage experience, you might be better off with a dedicated massage chair, since the vibration here is mild. Finally, if you're environmentally conscious about every watt of electricity, a single motor recliner would consume less power.